Hello everyone, welcome along to the PSGL Esports Cup 2020. We're trying again with round 4 here in China. I'm your commentator Owen White, with me is Austin, and no, you're not going crazy, where it's China again.
Yeah, it's not Groundhog Day. You might think that, but we do have one change actually, so it really can't be Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Because we had one change in the driver lineup, and that is for BDG, for Brutal Democracy. We have Jonathan now filling in for Midnight.
Yes, Midnight, of course, who set pole last time we were here with a strategy we would have starting on the salt. We're going to be doing qualifying all over again, so that's all wiped. But it would have been very interesting to see what BDG would have done with that. My theory is that they've just sacked him because it was a pretty silly technique, especially with Louis qualifying down on 18th. We were predicting it would have been just the longest train, and I guess BDG weren't a fan of that train idea. So they've got Midnight out, Jonathan in. That's the only change we got this. Everything else is just going to be the same. It's a clean slate. We're trying round 4 again because we had so many connections. There were drivers that kept DCing pretty much, and we ended up waiting for about half an hour before eventually calling it as just broken. And yeah, we could have cancelled it, but most of the drivers decided we'll try again, which was weird because it's China. I would have thought people would be over the moon to see this one cancelled, but oh well, there you go.
I mean, China is a fun track to drive. It's not the most fun. It's not, there's no driver that I've ever encountered that says, oh yeah, China's the race I'm looking forward to the most. But I think it is, after all, a fun track. You have the long straight in the final sector. You have the snake corners, turn 1 and turn 11. It really, or turn 12 rather. I mean, turn 11 is part of that section, really. So it really is a fun track to drive, and I would be surprised if there's no driver that thinks, oh man, I would love to see this cancelled. I don't think so.
I guess, but all it does, it makes their painful experience on F1 2019 just that little bit longer. Because also you've got F1 2020 coming around the corner. It just means we get to finish this a little bit closer to the new game coming out, so there's less of a gap, I guess, for these guys. But one little thing I find quite interesting, a lot of people were talking about the esports races at the weekend, obviously with F1 yesterday, and I swear half of the Canada times they were doing were slower than our event. I think we take pride in that. We're better than the F1 esports. Giarno can never come back. I don't care about you anymore. You've left. We've got better people than you. You're never going to win a title on PS4 ever again if you ever come back.
Wow, that's fighting words right there.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it is quite interesting indeed that we have such a quality of field that we have drivers that are just at an insane level of pace. I mean, I talked about it last time that we had about, I think, what was it, 10 drivers here that were in the top 100 on the leaderboards.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just a level of competition that you will not find anywhere else.
Just for reference, because I really do need to make this point clear. I think it was Casper with a 106.9, wasn't it? It wasn't it? At Canada, yeah. The F4 Esports best time, I don't know what their exact conditions were like, but they were in the 1 minute 4 for a pole. What's up? Why aren't we on television?
Hold on. Isn't it that in the F1 esports it's a one-shot qualifying?
Indeed.
Or do they also have it full 18 minutes?
They've got one-shot qualifying, but are you telling me that you have to go that much slower? Let's just hit this.
For one,
don't make this W less than it is. We need to be making this league as good as possible. I keep saying we've got the best league in PS4. This is our chance to promote it to best in the world.
But just
here.
to put this, all I'm saying is, the difference is not worth half a second.
Yes.
Okay. But there is a difference, obviously. It's not like this level right here is still really, really good. It's I would say better than F1 esports. It's just not half a second, but it's still better because I mean, again, they have one track qualifying. We have 80 minutes where grip levels evolve. It doesn't amount to half a second. Trust me. It's like 2-3 tenths, maybe.
But we can agree. We can agree it's faster, though. We're faster, yeah. We've got to drive this point
that is my
home.
whole point.
Connor, I hope you're milking this as much as I am. But yes, we're very much here to watch the absolute best in the world. We've proven it now. I don't care if it's one-shot qualifying. You can make your arguments, but we've got the best grid in the world. Let me just say that now.
Kieran, I'm saying Kieran. I'm so used to commentating with Kieran, so I'm sorry, Owen.
We haven't
My
commentated with me
apologies.
much longer. No, we've been commentating for like 2 years.
We had a break in between. All right.
We did. We broke up a bit. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they came back together. No, Owen, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, Connor is definitely 100% going to milk this to hell and back.
Indeed. Well, I've given him a wee head start of it. Hopefully he'll look into that now, and certainly he'll have that up. That'll be the cover photo on the Twitter. Absolutely. So, and I just thought I'd point out, because I think that's quite interesting. I know you can point out as one-shot calling and all that, but half a second quicker, I'd say that's an achievement for this grid. So well done.
I mean, I don't really think it's an achievement for that grid, for those drivers. I think for those drivers, it's what they do all day and night.
Yes.
It really is nothing that, surprises any of them. So, we have the best of the best here.
Oh my God, is Connor late?
I mean, you look at...
Is Connor late? Hold on, Connor's late into the chat. Isn't he just turn up now? We just spent the last 5 minutes saying how good this grid is, how they're faster than F1 Esports. You turned up
he can watch
now.
it back.
Watch it back, Connor. Reverse. Rewind it by about 5 minutes and just listen to that incredibly important information about Canada. Anyway, we're here in China. More important, hopefully we get this session started and finished well.
Well, this session we did get started and finished a week ago.
Well, it never
this
got off
session
the
was
loading
not
screen.
the problem.
Did it never get off the loading screen at the end? I thought we never exited, so it didn't
Well,
finish.
the session itself was finished, as in all the drivers were done with their times and everything. It was right after the session where the issues started occurring. But either way, what we're going to see here for these 17 and a half minutes that are left, obviously we're already 30 seconds into the session, is it's pretty simple. We see a lot of drivers on the hard compound tyre, meaning they're just going to do some insulation laps, some banker laps, trying to set a lap time, hopefully competitive, but for the most part just, trying to get into a rhythm.
Lost Moreno already there, I think. He was one of the guys causing issues last time.
He has time to rejoin. For the final 5 minutes at most, we are going to see almost everyone. I'm not sure if we're going to see everyone, because remember last week with Midnight, he didn't do that, but we should see almost everyone on the medium compound of tyre, because the soft around here is not a viable race tyre. So everyone wants to qualify on the mediums, and that's what we're going to see here. So right now they're all just doing their laps and trying to get a banker lap in, a good, decent, okay lap, that if push comes to shove, if everything goes completely the opposite way of what they were hoping, then they still got that one lap to fall back onto. Although, considering the level of competition, I don't think that's going to mean much.
No, not with these types of drivers. You'd hope they would, and anyone would end up in that situation anyway, honestly. But we'll see how everyone gets along. They at least have had a reference though, since they had their laps last week. That means maybe nothing to some. Maybe they'll have all forgotten how they did. But yeah, certainly for BDG, they've clearly looked at that and thought maybe that's not a good idea to keep Midnight on. Maybe last week's session being cancelled is the best thing that could possibly have happened to the team. You've got to look at that stance. I'm very interested to see how they do this time round. It couldn't really go much worse for Louis, so...
Yeah, I mean, you had one driver down in P18 who is supposedly your best driver. I mean, we all know how good Louis is. And granted, he doesn't have the racing line here, We know that's been one of his struggles so far. But even then, he's still one of the fastest drivers on F1 2019 on the PS4. Not just on the PS4, just in general on the game. So to have him down in P18 and your other driver, Midnight, was effectively... I mean, he was on pole position, great, but he was the only one on the absolute wrong compound of tyre, being on the softs. Everyone else behind was on the mediums, and no one else was going to use the softs in the race. So really, as good as pole position looks, as the Haas MNT here with some slipstreaming, I'm seeing LeBron getting past Frederick there. Toro Rosso's did that as well.
Yeah, Blizzard was all over the road. He got it all wrong on the brake, and afterwards he was sliding around like crazy as MNT showed beat his time now.
Blizzard and LeBron first time set.
Look at this, we've got both the racing points, both the VSR lads, they're on the softs. Obviously you'd hope we won't see this again where they do this run. Yeah, they're cruising around, so nothing to worry about there for VSR, thank goodness.
I can tell you right now, Owen, they're gonna sandbag. What Lee Findlay has already done is invalidate his lap. I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but you can see here Casper 32.4. We see provisional pole time right now after the first run of about almost 10 cars. We should see an FE car. There you go, Wouter is up to P6. 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's certainly not exactly the best situation there for Casper. So definitely some sandbagging going on there, as you would expect.
Well, this is it. They've got the sandbags out, but everyone knows what their pace is anyway, so you're just going to be thinking, right, what are they doing now then? Why are they wasting everyone's time? We all know how good they are. They're top of the championship. They had their qualifying last week. It wasn't a total disaster. And they know they've got Lee Finlay, who's pretty darn good at this track, and we know Casper's just good everywhere. So maybe they've gone for a different strategy for the tyres even. Maybe they've just gone softer or something and just going to do their one lap on mediums and just practice on softs or something. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you exactly why they are wasting everyone's time. They just want some laps and they maybe want to use the hards in the race and want to make sure that, you know, they have multiple sets of hards. If, you know, again, if push comes to shove, you always want to have a little something in your back pocket to fall back onto, and that way they're just using the softs in qualifying early on, sandbag. I mean, those laps by everyone, by Liam and Danny and 1 and 2, great job so far for S2V, by Gamer, Louis, Gil, Feynman, whoever it is, those laps aren't competitive anyway, because we're all going to see, we're going to see all the drivers going onto the medium tyre.
Yeah, you're right about that. So we'll see. I guess these early stages, as always in China, it's one of the really annoying things. It's always a tad pointless. So while this is going on, something I really probably should have done earlier, let me bring up the best tyres from last week, because it was Danny and Casper who were the fastest on mediums. I remember that much, and I believe they were in the high 130s. And so we're only a second off that on hards, so I guess they are still giving it some on hards, just obviously they're hards, so what's the point of going fastest on those? That might be their maximum pace already on hards, which is why, yeah, they're not going to qualify if that's how slow they are.
Yeah, it's definitely the maximum pace for drivers like Liam, Danny, Gamer, Louis on the hards. That's about the best they can get out of them. But again, the mediums are going to be almost a second faster, and we are going to drop into the 130s again. It's just that it's going to take some time. We have one driver now switching on to the mediums. That is Surface, but he is still in the pit. So the Vortex Racing Team driver, the first one to make the switch, but again, still, well, chilling in the pit lane, if you will. With how many drivers do we have out on track? That's 8, 9, 13. Yes, make that 14. As someone else just went out, someone else came in, so back to 13.
Yeah, that's not gonna get annoying anytime soon. They're just gonna be chilling, as you say. There's just nothing else you can do really. Put the stream on, give us some more viewers. Subscribe. Make sure you've got your notifications on, even though we're only a few minutes in. There's still loads more races going on the channel.
Hit the like button.
Oh yeah, like as well, because that's nice. We like being liked, obviously. We were able to hold 80 viewers last week, did you know, when nothing was happening. So really, realistically, we should be getting about 600 viewers now. We've got something happening. So do share it to all your friends, all your fellow esports teams, even if they're not taking part. I'm sure they'll be very interested in what's going to happen tonight, because this is the best grid in the world. So, yes, do share it around. Helps us out a lot. Obviously, helps Connor as well. He's the mastermind behind all this, isn't he? So, yes, make Connor happy.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you said last week not much was happening, and we had about 80 viewers consistently.
Yes.
So far, not much has been happening either this session. To be fair,
Yeah, fair
I mean,
enough.
we see the drivers just using the hard compounded tire, just being like, just as I said, chilling, just doing their laps, but not really 100% competitive. I mean, surely they're trying to set a good banker lap, but apart from that, I mean, none of those laps are going to be competitive at the end of the session. So, really not much happening, but there will be more happening over the course of this qualifying. It builds up in these situations. That's the one good thing, I think, about these qualifying sessions where you're on a track where the soft compounded tire is really not competitive in the race. At least it all builds up to this almost one-shot qualifying on the mediums towards the end. You have 15 minutes where you can talk about everything, really.
Yeah. Well, do you know what we haven't
and
spoken
then
about?
the last 3 to 5 minutes is just fireworks.
Yeah, so we'll wait for the fireworks. Should we quickly go through the driver standings? We're not going to go through the lines
Yes.
again. You can see them on the screen. So let's just quickly run through the driver standings. We always take very long with us, so we'll do it in like 2 minutes. It'll be very impressive. So VSR are on top. That's why we're expecting so much from them, as Lee Finlay goes slowest. They're on 125 points, currently 14 ahead of S2V. We were saying last week that really it's about whether CRG here are third on 90. Which group are they going to fall into? Are they going to drop into the middle group, or are they going to go back into the top group? Because they had a poor sort of start when you compare to the top two, and you were expecting them to be a bit higher, honestly. They did a good day today, and they're currently 3 and 5 again, a bit irrelevant, but still it's a good framework to build on when they go into mediums, so you'd assume they'll be still up there.
Yeah, most likely. CRG and SCV, so far at least in the session, proving to be the two strongest teams around this track. But we'll see what happens on the mediums. We see more and more drivers switching now. I'm going to, hold on, quickly jump onto Surface here. As he is, where is he? Hold on, that is turn 6.
Yeah,
Now coming towards 7, yep.
I'm currently watching,
still middle sector.
Currently watching Casper. We were saying what Lee Finlay was doing. Obviously, there's a bit of slipstream going on with both of them, and we'll see those two at it. And then behind them, we've got the two CRG boys. But yeah, as I say, CRG are right on the cusp of falling into that middle group. And in that middle group, they've got Williams on 84, Brutal Democracy on 75, you've got IGK on 67, and VRT on 63. Now, if they have a bad day today, CRG, they'll be firmly in that group. And we could argue that Williams should already be in the top 3 because they had a dreadful time last time out in Canada, as we say, 2 and 4 in the grid, and they did not capitalise on any of the opportunities they had. So CRG, as Casper goes top there, they've really got to bring their A game tonight.
They really do, yeah. And P5 and 7 so far on the Banker Labs is a good indication of them doing a good job, but obviously you have to deliver on this one lap. You only get one set of the medium tyres. You're going to have to make them count, otherwise you're going to struggle. Surface, meanwhile, 131, absolutely flat. That's the first lap time. It should, I would say, it should be good enough for barely top 10, but
yeah,
it's barely. Maybe he'll be 11th and 12th, and
well, actually,
effectively he's
time,
used his time already.
Since you've already got a gauge on this, that time would have actually put him 6th last week.
Wow.
So this is great, we got this, and you can maybe eliminate the soft run up there. It would have actually been top 5. So that might actually not be that bad of an effort. He's probably still got one more lap in that, even though it'd be slightly older tyre. He might as well do it. The tyres can handle it.
Yeah.
That's actually that's a strong lap, that.
Yeah, but he's not what's the word? He's not regaining that much ERS right now. He's still on only 43%, 45 now.
Well, he can go in the pits and go back out again. He's got 5 minutes.
Fair enough,
Refill
yeah.
his fuel and stuff.
Yeah, true.
Right, shall we
Let's
quickly go
see
through
who
the...
else. We have more and more runners now on the mediums there.
Yeah.
We have
Got
LeBron and Domi.
Domi's about to start one. Just before he does that, let's quickly go to the last bottom 3 teams. We've done
Yes.
the rest. We got Fireboy Gaming, we've got ACD, and we've got Team Mentalism. They're currently on 35 points for Fireboy. They're trying to break clear of the bottom 2 because they're equal on points, ECD and Team Mentalism, on 25 each. I assume ECD are higher because of, I think, what did they get? 7th place in Canada, so they'll get that on count back. But apart from that, they'll get a good day eventually. We've seen flashes, especially from MNT Louis in Austria when he was up there but then fell down. But yeah, it's more the same we said last week. There's not really much new we can say. Let's just look at these medium laps.
Yeah, and it wasn't a 7th in Canada, it was a 10th in Austria for Joglar.
I thought Joglar did quite well in Canada as well. Maybe
It was
didn't.
17th.
Oh, Jesus. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Must have got mixed up there.
Little off.
Sorry
Little
about
off,
that.
Owen.
Sorry about
but no, the 10th place in Austria is what sees ECDF1 through right now. Whereas MNT, I'm going to quickly try and find this, has never finished better than... I think that's 15th with MNT William in Austria as well. But they've been consistent on their points. They had Louis 16th in the first race in Azerbaijan, William 15th, Louis 19th in Austria, and then they had... Frederick 14th, my bad. Frederick 14th and LeBron 16th in Canada. But still, the 10th place from ECDF1 by Joglar in Austria sees them through right now.
Okay, here comes Dominic at the last corner. He qualified P6 last time out, and he's gone slower than that time this time around by over 0.2 of a second. Not a great return compared to last time. His teammate has just started a lap now, Gil, but we've also got LeBron, I believe, crossing the line to go P4 with a 31.6. That would have got him nowhere near anywhere last week, and I assume we'll get him anywhere near anywhere this week.
Yeah, in fact, Casper has set a faster lap time on the hards than LeBron has on the medium, so
yes,
that is the difference here, really. And we'll see what Casper can do later on. He has switched onto the mediums, but hasn't left the pit lane yet. In fact, everyone
for once, thank goodness,
is on the mediums. Absolutely everyone, not a single driver on the hards anymore.
That's good news.
That's how you know it's crunch time right there.
Absolutely. And, well, we know how close it was last week. It was super tight at the top, so they've all got to be on that tyre. And the salts, as we've established already, are pretty much useless. If you want a glory lap, then you can do that. But that's not really going to get you too far against these drivers, who will inevitably get by you extremely quickly. Here's Gil on the back straight now, slipstreaming Domi. He's going to get much more of a tow than Domi himself got from Gil last time round. They'll hit similar speeds, if not obviously a bit higher for Gil. Hopefully he gets it slowed down into the hairpin. Nicely done, hits the apex. Nice and smooth on the exit as well. Just one more corner to go. Let's hope he gets this done nice and clean. You know, in validations, because this could be a good time on the board. He qualified just behind his teammate last week, and he's beaten that time easily this time round. That time would have got him up to P5 last time out, I believe. So a good one there for Gil. That should theoretically be nice and high at the grid. This is so good having times to compare to.
See, Owen, this is why you usually prepare for commentary.
We never have. We don't. This is such a unique scenario. We don't normally have the entire grid already having done a qualifying session in identical situations.
True, but we could have some drives. I mean, they're all league racing somewhere.
Look at Liam. That time is very good. Up there on a 30.6. That could well be pole position tonight already in the bag, unless his teammate can do anything about that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
That was nearly as fast.
Never count out Danny. Never count Danny out.
That was nearly as fast as Midnight's pole on the softs last week. I was only a couple of hundreds off it. Mind you, he probably wasn't pushing too hard on that, which you could probably tell by the fact he wasn't too happy and he's been dropped. But yeah, we're now in the final few moments of qualifying. Here's Andre up to the line. He's going to go up to P5 with that. Good lap from him there in ECD. They'll be very happy with him there, I'd imagine. I think,
Yeah, they should be.
Are ITK doing this again with their toe? Or are they both on slow laps?
Don't be certainly on a slow lap.
No, they're both on slow laps. They're both on slow laps.
Yeah.
That's a
So
disappointment.
who else do we have?
They're going for it. We've got the Haas's. We've got Frederick getting a toe off LeBron, hitting, I think, 216 on the back straight there. Nice top speed. Hopefully he's had a good lap around that as well. And we'll see through the final corner where he ends up for MNT. Tad wide.
Risky final corner.
Yeah, very risky, but he's got to P10.
P10.
Good lap. Casper's out there. He's 3/10 up, but we've also got, I believe, we've got...
Danny overcooked it into the hairpin. Went a little bit too deep there. Locked up the right front tyre. And through the final corner he comes. Danny, only P3. And that may have been the difference. That hairpin right there. CFG Gamer's coming through the final corner now. What can he do? Yeah, takes it nicely. Not too risky. And that is P6 for him. Who else do we have? Casper.
This is it. This is it.
That was
this has to be
a ghosted car.
This has to be the lap right now because at the minute it's Sven on pole, but not anymore. Casper to the top. Great lap there, I believe.
And Marino.
We're pretty much out of cards apart from Marino, who's currently not improving on P20.
Well, he will move out his teammate if he improves, and he does not.
On P20. Couldn't find the time.
Yeah.
But it's
only
Casper
1,000th. Only 1,000th of a second behind LeBron, though. It's just unfortunate. But his teammate Andres inside the top 10. So at least there's a good result. And you can see the difference between P1 and P13 is less than half a second.
Yeah, very impressive stuff from these guys. And much faster than they were last week as well. So clearly that last session's done good for them. And yeah, it is VSR on pole. Again, we see Williams up there. Can they actually benefit from a front row start this time? They've got Tim way down the grid in 17th, but at least they've got one car up there. And I think Jonathan's also in 18th, so it doesn't really matter. You always have a BGG driver doing terribly.
Wow.
Disgraceful.
But yeah, it is for Williams. It feels like it's a little bit of a common occurrence that they have one driver way up there, the other a little bit further down. I mean, if you remember 2 weeks ago now, obviously, they had Williams Roy in P5 in the end, at the end of the race, and Sven was all the way down in 13th. This time Sven's the one up, and very good performance from him there in P2, and Tim all the way down in 17th.
Right. I haven't really got time to do the grid. We've got 5 seconds. So we'll just show you the
We have
grid,
a formation lap, Owen.
and we'll do it on the formation lap. I like to do it on this screen now. And we got past this screen this week. Yes! 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 Yes!
So this time, hopefully, I don't want to jinx it too early, but at least in qualifying, no technical difficulties.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes.
Right.
Let's hope it stays the same in the race. Let's hope. I'll believe it when I see it.
And to anyone complaining about me complaining about BDG in the chat, it's just because I like them. Oh, that might get me in trouble with ILRT, actually. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm keeping Connor happy. How about we say that much? By trashing them, which means they'll be encouraged to do better. Huh? Louis nowhere. This isn't what Louis does best. He needs encouragement, clearly. So let's go, Louis. Get yourself in the top 10 this time. He'll get
I'm just impartial.
Well, this is it. Well, you have to be. You'll be kicked out of your respective team, won't you? If you trash talk them, won't you?
No.
Nah?
I trash talk them in DMs all the time.
Ah, right, okay.
But it's only in DMs, you know. Publicly, obviously, different situation.
Yeah.
That's how professionals handle it. But yeah, we're still waiting. 2-1, and there we go. All the drivers should have their strategies locked in now.
Right, let's go through the grid and through the strategies, and let's see what people are doing. No one's on the softs. That's a good start. Well done, everybody. And that grid is Casper on pole for VSR, Williams in second place with Sven. Can they hold on to it this time? S2V all through the second row lockout. That's really good for them, actually. With VSR being 1 and 6, they could really benefit from this right now, being line of start. They've got IGK in the top 5 with Gil. Good stuff from him there. Lee Finlay in 6th. He won here in AOR, so expect big things from him. CRG Gamer, only the first of the CRG boys. They're really not doing themselves much favours and trying to get themselves back up into the top 2 fight. We got FV Walters up in there in P8, good stuff for him there. First of the BRT boys, Timon in P9, and ECD with Andre in the top 10. Good result for them as well in qualifying. BRT Surface in 11th place and Louis in 12th place. Better than 18, we're getting there. Johan in 13th for FV. CRG in 14th with Blizzard. We're sure he'll get up there, surely. MNT, first of their cars, 15th with Frederick. IGK, Dommy, yeah, we sort of said it when he crossed the line. Wasn't the best lap in the world compared to last week. And then Williams, 2nd and 17th for them with Tim there. And then you've got BDG Jonathan, MNT LeBron, and Marino for ECD. We've got, how many on the hards? We've got 8 on the hards. Louis, Johan, Blizzard, Frederick, Tim, Jonathan, LeBron, Marino. And yeah, this has been very interesting. This is the first time really this season we've seen a mix-up really with CRG. This sort of out of the way. They really have got to do something special at the minute, or else they will, like I say, be falling into that middle group that they don't really want to be in.
Yeah, right now the trend certainly looks more down than up for them, and especially with Williams, at least with one Williams rather than Sven being that strong. And BDG, well, they're way down the order as well. But IGK, they might be real winners here. Gill in 5th, Domi in 16th. We see IGK always, through the race, somehow moving up, making positions as they go. And VRT then as well, very solid in P9 and 11. It's not that flashy, but both close to each other and right in the midfield.
Right then, we're getting ready. All the drivers are lining up. It took us an extra week to get here, but hopefully the wait is going to be worth it. We're going to have 28 laps ahead of us here at the Shanghai International Circuit in China, and we are going to have a cracker. The second half of the season is officially going to get properly underway when these 5 lights go out. It's going to be Casper on the right, it's going to be Sven on the left, and anything can really happen here. Again, SUV in the second row. Let's see what they can do at the start, but it's Casper. Can he get away? Lights out here in China, and it's an okay reaction from these guys. It's going to be side by side to turn 1 for a few of them. It'll be interesting to see how really they want to go about it. They want to be crashed at turn 1, and most of them are generally getting round okay. And you can see there's a racing point on the inside. Lee Finlay trying to get himself at the grid already, and we've got the 2 S2V boys side by side, Danny and Leon going for it, and Leon currently coming out on top. But Casper and Sven getting away relatively well. Look at IGK Gill there as well on the inside. He's trying to get both the S2V boys in one move. Has a bit of contact there with Danny, who's up into the podium positions, but it looks like Gill might well be able to get himself past Liam. He's got the wrong line now. He's going to understeer very wide there, and we'll have to give that up, surely. Don't be going for that in there. You'll have Gamer all over the back of you, and a few side by side still. That's a Ferrari at the inside of Waters, but looks like there's been a few close calls, but a clean start.
Yeah, so far so good. We had a couple switches there. Danny and Liam, teammates, switching positions. We had Gaiman going past Lee Findlay. Simon for VRT going past Wouters. Domi, that's what I said earlier. Look at that. IGK Domi already gaining 4 positions on the opening lap for P16 up to P12. Somehow, the IGK guys, they find a way. And Jonathan as well from 18th up to 14th, and Johan, I think that might be a bug. Where's Johan for you?
Well, I know we can't see other cars because he was inside a Ferrari. That's Johan and Jonathan having issues there, I think. Or is it actually Louis? It's hard to tell, but Johan's certainly having issues regardless. He's 14th from my screen. I can actually see him, but certainly there seems to be a couple of connections. He's out there for a few of these guys as we start lap 2.
Johan shows 20th for me, so I'm just, from now on, I'm just going to withhold, speaking about Johan, because obviously he's glitched out on my screen. But still, I mean, look at Domi. He's just gaining position. It's fantastic. IGK just doing a really good job here. Gill holding position in P5. Domi moving up. They're doing a great job.
I think Jonathan also had a bit of a solid start. He was up to 15th there at the end of lap 1. So he's getting up there. I think MNC had a bit of a poor start, falling down to 18th and 19th respectively there. And Tim, interestingly, stayed in 17th. That isn't really a good sign for the rest of the race, is it? He really needs to be getting a move on. Mind you, Blizzard as well will be too happy with his start, all the way down in 16th place. A CRG Gamer in P6, it's one car up there, but it just isn't enough right now for them. They need to be doing better. They've got both IGK boys ahead. They've got a Williams boy in P2. They've got both BRTs ahead of Blizzard. They are not looking too good right now.
Yeah, really not. They have to do more to keep close to the top two in VSR and S2B, and right now they're not doing that. Maybe on strategy, but that being said, I think the strategy is fairly straightforward in general in this race. It's a medium to hard or hard to medium one stop for all the drivers, unless they have somehow damage, which I didn't even see that anyone did. So yeah, no one's gone into the pit lane yet.
I think Gill's having a little look on Liam, who's really fallen on the back of his teammate Danny, who himself is on the back of Sven. Casper is already 1 second clear, so doesn't have to worry about any DRS, which is good news for him. He can control the race from here, hopefully. He should be on course to have his third victory of the season, second in a row, but very early on in the race, so it's obviously safety cars, anything like that. It could affect him in a negative way. But yeah, we'll wait for DRS probably before all the moves start happening, but certainly one S2B man on the attack, and everyone looking behind him at the IGK man of Gill, who really is having a good day, as you say. IGK up there in 5th and 12th. Not a bad start at all.
Yeah, quite fitting that they're in the Mercedes, isn't it? That you have Danny, who is basically playing the Hamilton role, trying to catch up to the front two, and you have Liam, who is the Valtteri Bottas, the wingman, trying to keep Danny's back clear a little bit.
Yeah,
I think that's what it shapes up. Yeah, that's what it shapes up to be. The question is, how long can Liam keep Danny's back clear? Right
Gill's
now,
got him. Gill's got him already. This is going to be a very easy move, surely, if he can get that one slowed down, which he should be able to do with no real issues. He's gone a tad wide, though, and that could open the door for a gamer, but he's nowhere near close enough. I think that should be clear into P4 now. Gill really he's on fire right now. And Liam's flustered. He's all over the road.
Yeah, what hurt Liam there was he caught a little bit of power oversteer on the exit of the hairpin, and that completely killed his momentum, and therefore no chance to fight back. He was alongside Gill, but he
I think
didn't
there's been
really...
something going wrong at turn 1. I think we've had Johan and Jonathan having a bit of contact, maybe just sailing off the track, because they've had Blizzard, they've had Tim get ahead of both of them. And Johan's still off the track there. He's going to have Jonathan back past him again. He's also getting a bit flustered in the early stages. And look at that, you got MNT Frederick as well having a little look. I wonder if Johan's about to DC there. I think he's got an X over his name. I think, well, maybe I saw it wrong, but I know you say he's got internet issues. Not having a good race anyway.
For me right now, Johan shows as 20th and 35 seconds behind the leader. So
it's a weird one,
I don't really know what's going on. And he has no ERS either, apparently, which... that looks surprising. Yeah. He's not regaining anything. It's just a big X.
Yeah,
that is very weird.
It's a very annoying glitch to have on this game. Nothing really they can do about it. But I guess I can keep you up to date with what he's doing. He's still in the race, I can tell you that much.
Alright.
But yeah, he has fallen down a little bit. He has got Frederick all over him, so... I'm
just going to use the stream to see what he's doing. Good thing I got that open on my other monitor.
Yeah, MNT currently on the move right now. They're trying to defend 19th and get up to 17th, and I think Moreno should be able to keep himself up ahead there of LeBron, who's now last. And yeah, Casper's still doing a good job keeping this DRS open and clear, because as long as he keeps that gap, he doesn't really have to pull away much more. He knows that Sven and Danny will eventually end up in some sort of combat. He's really in such a good position right now. You don't really expect him to be this far clear already. But yeah, having a whale of a time up there.
Yeah, and we have a question in the chat whether Liam has damage. He seems to be struggling.
No visual.
No visual, at least. We don't know whether he has any. If we could use a certain tool, you know, we would know. But unfortunately, we are not allowed to, thanks to some of the teams objecting to that. Otherwise, you know, we would know. But at least no visual damage.
Yes, because we know Danny had damage in Canada and we couldn't see it, and we were joking about saying he's got no damage, but as it turned out he actually did from lap 2 and couldn't change it the entire race, and it was very annoying. But yeah, nothing visual. Maybe he's just starting to get into the flow, but he's still in DRS, just a bite of Gill, so he can sort of hold on for a bit. But the second he falls out of that, I guess, yeah, he will be under quite a lot of pressure. He is holding a bit of a train up. all the way back down to Louis. And if you get passed by one, you're going to get passed by a lot. And Gamer, well, he's looking at STV. That's who they're hoping to be one of their main rivals in the championship. So they're really going to have to get a move on. I think we've seen Marino go up the track. And he is spinning back on right now, but he's fallen right down the grid. Has he got any damage on that Red Bull? Hard to tell with the camera angle. I guess we just have to wait and see. But I think Danny's going to go for P2. Here he goes on Sven. An easy move in the end. And STV Danny is into second place.
Meanwhile, a little update on Marino. No visual damage again. We're going to have to use that qualifier every time now.
Yeah.
Because of the situation that we had with Danny, where he did have some damage, but we couldn't see it. So no visual damage, at least for Marino on the front wing.
Right then, so now we're going to see if Danny is able to catch up to the back of Casper and maybe put him under a bit of pressure right now, because VSR, they sure need a bit of pressure right now. I mean, they're still doing relatively well, SUV, just by virtue of the fact that Lee's down in 7th, but they could do it to win as well. This could be a real opportunity with Lee in the middle of a train. If it all starts to kick off, he could end up losing out quite badly if he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. But we'll, again, see how it all pans out. No one's put it for any damage, as you say. Marino's okay, and LeBron, I guess they must have had a little bit of a tangle, but again, any safety cars or anything, they'll be back into it, so they just got to sit tight, really. Wait and see what's going to happen. And Gil is into DRS now off Sven. So
but Sven himself has DRS, so not really much to gain for Gil right now. He's getting closer to the group of both Sven and Danny there up front, but it's going to be hard to overtake. Remember, we talk a lot about it. The DRS trains, once you are in a train of 3 or more cars, it's incredibly difficult to overtake if you're not the second car in the train. If you're the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th car in the train, it's incredibly difficult to overtake. And I think that's what we're seeing in the upper midfield, let's say, behind Liam Parnell, that everyone behind them, CRG Gamer should have the easiest job of overtaking Liam. But apart from that, once CRG Gamer is past Liam, if that happens, everyone else is going to have a really tough time, because it's going to be the DRS train and Lee Findlay, Thyman, Wouters, Andres, Surface, Domi, Louis, they will not be able to find a way past unless Liam makes some sort of a mistake.
Right, let's see if Sven's going to stay up in 1 second. He's had a bit of a slide down the exit of turn 10, but he should be okay to stay in DRS. And Danny himself now is closing up on Casper, so we could start to see a train develop for the race lead at the minute. But certainly, Gil is now nearly 2 seconds clear of Liam, so if we do get a train, it'll be almost certainly a 4-car train. And also interesting to note that Louis is the highest running hard compound runner. And look at the gap he's got to Blizzard. I don't know if he's having any issues or whether he's just slow, but that's good news for him as well. As Gamer has a look, and he's got past on the DRS there of Liam, and that'll put him into leading this train now for a bit. And Louis got himself by Domi as well. So we're starting to see a bit of movement now on these trains, which is good to see.
Yeah, and quite surprising, although not as surprising that was Louis, as Domi was violently fishtailing there on the exit of the final corner. Must have caught a huge bit of oversteer there. Surprised that he did not spin in any capacity. I mean, if there is ever a spot for an Alfa Romeo to spin, if you think back to Giovinazzi, it's right there, final corner in China. That was well held, I have to say, by Domi, not throwing that one away and staying on the back of Louis. But very well done, I have to say. But yeah, you can see maybe the hards are getting into the rhythm now, that Louis is making moves on other cars in the DRS train, that he's maybe finding the rhythm now. Maybe the hards are getting better than the mediums are. Well,
for Louis' sake, he's got to hope so. Because right now, I mean, if they keep working the way they are at the minute, there's 5th place at the end of the train, at the end of the rainbow he's looking for. I mean, he's looking quite strong compared to all the other hard runners, so that's good news, at least for anyone who's a BDG fan. Which, of course, I guess we have to be, don't we? For goodness sake. But, yeah.
I'll leave that to you.
I hate title sponsors.
Oh,
So
and
annoying.
Simon goes too deep into the corner, loses a position to Wouters, another one almost to Andres, keeps that one though. Does he have damage? I can't tell.
Lee Finlay's
But there
gone,
was
is he? Hitting early.
Lee Finlay. I think that was what happened there. Lee Finlay got involved there as well, and he had front wing damage. I saw a pink end plate, and I was like, that's going to be a racing point. But why is Simon going deep? That's a red. How? And I was really confused. But yes, there is the front wing change for Lee Finlay.
Already hearing he got brake checked. Apparently, that's what That's what I think is being said there. Nothing confirmed anyway, but he's at the back now. That's bad news for VSR. S2V, if they're aware of what's going on, they'll be loving that. And now we've got Louis side by side there with Surface, but there was no way through. And suddenly, and in this race, even though Casper's in the lead right now, S2V, they've got to be liking what they're seeing.
Yeah, at this point, certainly. I mean, if you have your main championship rival, the championship leaders at VSR, I mean, if you have one who's in the front and, 1.4 seconds, but being hunted down, being chased down by Danny, and suddenly the other driver from your main rival finds himself all the way down in last place. I mean, what's there not to like for S2V?
Probably Liam's pace at the minute, but we'll see what he's like on the hard, I guess. He's still in the top 6 though. I mean, it's strong. What's that? 16 points he's still getting, isn't he? And then 25. How many is that? I can't do simple maths. 41 compared to 30.
Oh, we got our pit stop skill.
Oh,
Gamer, Liam, Andres. That's early. Is that a reaction to Lee Finlay going in? Because if so,
it could be. I mean, it makes
but he had a front wing
sense.
change. That wasn't scheduled.
Yeah, but harder to know that. Oh, Gil had to be held up there by Gamer. That might have negated any advantage he's got there. It'll cost him about a second, but that's all it needs to cost him to mess up on these hard compound tires. He's in clear air though, so we'll see where he ends up. But yeah, they weren't to know, I guess, that Lee Finlay's got damage, and I mean it's still a relatively sensible-ish time to pit anyway, so they're not going to lose out too much.
I just find it a little bit early, just a little bit. I think maybe lap 10, lap 11 maybe would be good. I would have probably gone for lap 12, even on the mediums, but they go for lap 9, maybe some of them as a reaction to the pits up by Lee Finlay, maybe not knowing that was for front wing change.
Interestingly, Liam's come out behind Marino, and Gamer's ahead of Marino, so this could hold up Liam a little bit. We'll wait and see as Marino takes a few liberties on turn 10. That is being looked at, but again, more for qualifying, I think that was, as Blizzard is getting himself by Dommy. A few laps later than Louis, certainly, but
Danny
at least
comes
he's
in.
Still moving.
Danny and Sven both come in.
Yeah, this could
Sorry
be...
to interrupt, but
yeah,
Wouters as well.
The big undercut attempt for them now. Oh,
everyone but Casper at this point.
Sven's got
Tommy
a penalty.
as well. Yep.
That's not good news for him. For goodness sake, Williams. I mean, it won't cost him everything, I guess, but it just means they won't be in that fight for the lead in a way they'd want. Here comes Danny. We'll see where he ends up in comparison to Gil. I imagine Gil would have lost out, having been held up, but we will watch and see regardless. There's Sven. And Gil, will he be impatient? Will he try anything rash? This could be his best chance, even though Sven is well outside DRS. But look at who Danny's stuck behind. He's stuck behind LeBron. This could halt his progress now against Casper, unless he gets by straight away, which he should do right now. And let's see, is Gil going to go for anything? No, he's not going to.
No, he was a little bit too far away there, maybe. That wasn't really working, and he has to wait a little bit longer. However, it's looking good for him because Sven, well, never mind. I was about to say Sven is over a second away from the next car, which is LeBron, but he's obviously catching him very, very rapidly. So at least this time around, Sven will get DRS, but maybe once LeBron is out of that picture, I think Gil is going to have a really good chance to overtake Sven.
I don't think he even needs to at this point. He's in a really good position now because he doesn't have to worry about anything because of the penalty as Casper comes into the pits. That penalty is going to ruin Sven's race. And Gil effectively is already into a net third position. What a result that would be for IGK. I really hope we're not going to jinx it. And look at this, Sven not getting by LeBron on the strip. And LeBron's hardly going to move out of the way. He's on the hards. He's got no right to move out of the way. So Sven's got to really hope he gets by right now. Let's see if Danny's going to get by Casper. This would really put the nail on VSR's coffin, but he's not going to get him. He will be in DRS
closer.
though. Will be in DRS.
Yeah, he is closer.
And Sven's on the inside there, by the way, of LeBron. They're still side by side into turn 2, and look at how sweet this could be for Gil if he can get himself around the outside. He'll get by much easier, and now Sven's in a lot of trouble. He's going to have no DRS to help him out. Gil up to P10, much quicker than Sven got to P9.
And a fantastic overtake by Gil round the outside of turn 4. You don't see that very often. I have to say, that was a fantastic job there from Gil. And granted, he is on better tyres against LeBron, who is on old, hard compound tyres. But still, to make that happen, that was very, very well done by Gil.
It's clinical, and that's a really good sign for when he goes to move on Sven. It proves he can make these stick. So he'll certainly be taking a bit of confidence from that. Looks like, by the way, Walters jumped Liam, so I know he was getting held up a tad, and that must have cost him against Walters, which again, well, actually is good news for VSR. It's an extra position loss for Liam there, but we'll see if he's any quicker on these hards than he was on the mediums. He sure as hell needs to be. They need to take advantage of this S2V. Danny's trying to make work of that on Casper. He's locking up there, feeling the pressure a bit already, you could argue. But yes, certainly it's a big chance here for S2V, with Lee all the way down in 18th, although he's about to get himself to P17 on the inside there. There he goes. Danny, fastest lap. That's the extra point for him as well, though he'll almost certainly lose that when the one stoppers here on the hards at the start will go on to mediums. But regardless, he's proven he's got the pace.
Yeah, and that might be crucial. It certainly is crucial in the battle of minds here right now between Danny and Casper. If you're the guy in front and you see this pop up in the bottom, you see the guy behind you, right behind you, less than a second behind you, all of a sudden puts up the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, that's when you really start sweating.
Well, this is two things you can take from this. Is one, okay, he's gone fastest, panic. Or two, okay, he's used all ZRS. Chill. And he has used more, but it's still enough to get him down that back straight at a reasonable pace. The thing I reckon they're going to have to worry about a little bit more is possibly the guys are catching. Mainly Frederick and Johan. We don't know what sort of fighting they'll be doing. I know you can't see Johan. He's currently the next car for Casper, 3 seconds away.
I see it on the stream. As I said, I have the stream open on my second monitor.
Good. Right, so you know what we're on about then.
Yes.
They'll probably start maybe 2 or 3 more laps, I guess. They want to get enough out of the medium, so I guess they won't be standing out forever. But there's a chance that they'll be caught. If they are, then that will maybe annoy Casper a little bit.
Yeah, at this point, we're talking almost 3 seconds from Casper to Johan, and it's going to be close. It's going to be really close. It could happen, it could not happen. Either way, this is something that in your head, in your mind, you're already preparing for. And Casper and Danny certainly have a plan as to what to do if that happens and where to overtake and where they hope. Maybe they run up to the guys like Yo and like Frederick. I don't think they're going to get any further. I don't think they're going to catch up to Jonathan, Tim, Blizzard, or Louis. But those two might still throw a little bit of a spanner into the works. And we'll see whether they can keep that spanner to not do any damage.
I don't think they're catching quick enough, these two. I reckon by the time they get there, it'll be pit stop time, honestly. If anything, Casper would get within 1 second, get a dose of DRS and they'll pit and get out of his way.
Well, last lap for Casper was 134.4. For Frederick, it was 135.6. We're talking 1.2 seconds. So, effectively, looking at it right now, about a lap and a half and they are there.
Well, this is it. Will they pit when they see him? If it was me in a scenario, I'd see these guys pop up against me. I'd say, right, time to pit. Don't want to lose out. And they're going side by side, these two, though. This could slow them down a tad. Johan had a go on Frederick. And are any of these guys going to box? Frederick does box. Johan will set for one more lap. Danny, right on Casper's tail. This could be another good lap for him. And, well, it's closer anyway, not a fast lap or anything, but he's certainly, again, saving ERS all this time as well because of the DRS. Casper is vulnerable, he really is.
At this point, certainly, and it's I feel like it's really a matter of
They're
time.
Equal on ERS now. So he's caught all that up now, Danny, in the DRS. Just do that for a few more laps and you can really go for it.
Yeah, and at some point, because the straight is so long here, when you come out of turn 13, it's so long that you cannot defend it under any circumstances. You can have 100% ERS charge, you can have the best run out of turn 13, but because the straight is so long and the DRS so powerful and the slipstream, there is no chance whatsoever for you to defend this in any capacity. And at this point, Casper would really have to let Danny by. I mean, he could try to defend to the inside, but it's doomed to fail from the very beginning.
He's not quite within 1 second here of Johan, so will Danny take this opportunity now? He's on to overtake, but I imagine everyone's going to do that just to stay close. We'll see if he goes further down on the straight. He will indeed.
No. Yeah.
You can see the closing speed. You can see why he's doing that. He's getting Casper to use his ERS, and eventually he'll, I guess, fill his bar up and ready to go. We saw Jonathan Pitt on the last lap. Now it's Louis' turn on this lap, and him and Johan, but Blizzard will lead a lap for CRG. Won't be a very long lead though, I don't imagine, but yeah, Danny again saving the ERS. You can see he's now got more than 10% extra on top of Casper's, and that's the whole plan, that's the whole idea here. Get that ERS up and go for the move when it's time. Let's see where Louis is going to come out, because he should be the highest driver on the mediums now, and oh my goodness, that was a bit close, wasn't it? But luckily no contact, but he's going for it again.
Don't try
Louis.
that, no!
You've just come out of the pits, man. You've still got 13 laps. Just be patient. You've got more grip than you need right now.
He needs to clear this. I mean, effectively for him, this is traffic right now. This isn't really full position for him with those faster, fresher, medium tyres. He wants to clear that as quickly as possible, and he does, finally, in turn 6. But, yeah, trying to force the issue a little bit there in turn 3 and 4.
Right, so his idea then will be P6 right now. That's what he's looking at. Gamer is where surely his first priority has to be right now. Safety cars, I think, could put him a bit higher up. But certainly, I reckon that's what he'll see as achievable, surely. That's reasonable.
It is, yeah. I think maybe the 4.5 seconds then from Gamer to Gil. I think that may be a little bit of a jump there, but certainly... What is this right now? It's 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds really, from Louis all the way to Gamer. The one issue that he's going to run into, and I hate to repeat myself, but it's the DRS trains, as Blizzard now comes in, the final driver to make it to the pit lane, apart from Marino in 16th. Really, a race to forget for the ECDF1 driver. And they're going to have to hope that Andres can keep their 10th place, and he will be under pressure from Louis. Not too in not too distant of a future, really.
Well, they'll be under pressure as soon as turn 6, you could argue. We got yellows in sector 1. I wonder what that's for. I don't see anyone off. I was wondering if it was Blizzard colliding on the way out of the pits, but that's not it. I don't know if there's any issues there. Maybe someone just got a bit wide or something. But the thing for Louis, the good news for him is that he'll be stronger in this first sector, so even if he's got the DRS train and all that, even in the middle sector as well, he could actually pull off moves in these corners. He doesn't have to do it on DRS with these tyres. That could be what he does to his benefit. I know he's not got line on, that might be a bit more difficult for him, but he's got the ability, and he could well take advantage of that.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that, because on the DRS straight in a train, you can really forget it. I mean, right now he has Andres in front of him, who will not have DRS, so at least that should be an easy one. But apart from that, once he gets to Thyman, Liam, Wouters, Gamer, I mean, Gamer would be easy again, because he also doesn't have DRS because he's the front of the train. But the other three, Wouters, Liam, and Thyman, here we go. Louis on Andres. I'm going to continue in a second. That should be an easy overtake, and it will be... Makes it past way before the braking zone. Louis up to P9. And yeah, he's going to have to make overtakes where it is unusual, where you wouldn't always go for it. You have to think about, for example, make it Ricciardo style, you know, do it into turn 6 again. And he did that before. He did that on Lee Findlay just a couple laps ago. Well, do that over and over and over again.
You know, speaking of Lee Findlay, he might find himself in quite a lot of bother. He's now got Jonathan on him. And remember, this is the team, VSR, at the top of the points. This is the last inning. They got the lead almost certainly going to go eventually. That's all in Danny's control. Not really Casper's control anymore. And Lee Findlay's not even in the top 10 right now. SGV must be absolutely loving this right now. At the minute, we're looking at a potential... And look at that. There he goes on the inside. As easy as that for Jonathan. But yeah, at the minute, S2V, what are they looking at? They're looking at 44 points right now. If they can get the lead, and then what would VSR be getting? They'd be 25, then they'd be... How many more? What, 10? They'll lose the lead soon.
It's not going to be 10.
Or, well...
Lee Findlay right now would be on 8.
8, wouldn't it? So...
Yeah.
Not good, not good, not good. They'll be very close at the top at the end of the tonight. And, well, SGV, Danny, go for it? No, not yet.
No, but that being said, you mentioned the ERS difference between the two of them. It has come down.
Yeah,
it is right now at the end of the long straight. It is still 10% difference, but Casper's doing a really good job despite being in front, saving ERS. I'm surprised, I have to say. I thought he would lose it a bit quicker, but he's done an exceptional job managing the battery charge.
Yeah, it means that we'll get more of an actual fight. I worry that Danny would go straight past, but at least Casper's got plenty to fight back with. You'd hope we'll get a proper wheel-to-wheel fight for the win today, and we won't get another Baku where he just does it on the line. It's boring. But
I mean, you can't do it on the line here.
Well,
it would have to be the final, the straight on the final lap.
You could try. I'm sure they'll give it a go.
The run-up is too short, Owen. Come on.
We'll see.
The run-up from the final corner to the line is way too short.
You could throw it into the last corner or use one of your warnings, you know, and do it that way.
Obviously,
scummy,
if you're going to try it, if you want that position, if you want the win, you're going to go for it on lap 28 on the long straight, Exeter turn 13, DRS, ERS to overtake, throw the kitchen sink at it, and just, you know, breeze past, just walk past as if it was nothing. That's how that would work. You wouldn't try throwing it into the final corner. Come on, Owen.
Here comes Danny, close as ever. And just on people saving ARS and stuff, we've got Sven. I know that Gil doesn't actually have to pass as Louis already up into P7, P5. Well, it would have been P6, but I didn't mention that Blizzard had to pit still. But now that's P5 he's looking at, and he's almost certainly going to get that in the next few laps. He's done that very quickly, has to be said. And he's flying along. But yeah, Sven's ERS is pretty much gone. And Gales has still got plenty, so even if he fancies going for that P3 on track rather than relying on the penalty, that'd be pretty nice as well. But yeah, certainly all building up to some fights here, thank goodness.
Yeah, if I was Sven, I'd probably just wave Gil by, knowing about the penalty.
I know, you can't do
Why
that.
bother? Just at this point, you're driving more against time than you are driving against the drivers surrounding you.
Do you know where I could see that happening is if Louis starts catching them, which he might well do. He's already now past Walters as well into turn 6. And he's only got Gamer to get by. You'll almost certainly expect that to be done at the end of the lap. And he's done that in just 5 laps. So he could well just cruise up. We know how quick he is. I'm waiting to see it all season. But yeah. That might be the only reason they'd maybe consider fighting. But I do agree, actually, that maybe he won't go past. But if the opportunity's there, you know, pick your right moment. Maybe just worth it. But let's see if Louis gets past here and puts himself up to P5. Because, like I say, to do that in 5 laps would be pretty special. And he's given it everything on the ERS. Yeah. Not going to relent there. He's going to go for the outside line. And should really have it on the brakes. He's got much grippier tyres still at this stage. They're not going to be dropping off at any point. He'll have the exit speed as well. Can he finish it off?
Still side by side into the final corner.
And oh, he's wide.
Oh, the cutback! The cutback by Gamer here.
And that, Austin, is how you can win it on the line. That's what I'm talking about here. Last corner shenanigans. That's how you go side by side to the line. That's not ideal for Louis, though. That's losing him about a second to
It
the
is,
top
yeah.
4, so he's got to really get it into turn 6. He will get it into turn 6. Surely he'll throw it in there. Danny Ricciardo's sign.
Back to
Here he goes.
overtake.
Right side
He
line
can't.
again. His favourite
It's
line.
covered.
And he's
They
done it again.
touch. Yeah, oh, fantastic. Around the outside. Turn 6 is a corner that lends itself to that sort of overtake, where you can actually overtake around the outside. At least if you do have slightly better tyres, as Louis does. It really, lends itself to that. But, yeah, Gamer tried a lot. Unable to hold Louis back. And now, is he going to be even in DRS range come the detection point? It is on the exit of turn 11, in turn 12, pretty much. And at least he gets that, yeah. So he will be in DRS range. He will at least be able to defend from Wouters, who is now right behind him. And Wouters will not have a chance, really, to overtake. He's going to try, but the moment he sees... Yep, I love that. The moment he sees that wing come open on the Toro Rosso in front, he switches down his ERS. He was hoping that maybe Gamer wasn't going to have the DRS. The moment he saw, oh no, he got it. All right. Down to no ERS deployment. We're going to save.
Don't want to jinx this, but it's actually been a pretty good day for Wouters as well up there in P7. P6 now looking quite good for him as well. That, as I said, FB are looking to really distance themselves from ECD and from MNT, and they're doing exactly that. If they can get that P7, that'd be 14 points, and it'd be 16 if they can get themselves up to P6, I believe. So, really on form today.
Yeah, and remember, Wouters was the driver who did score very well in the first race in Azerbaijan, where he was inside the top 10, finishing 10th, ahead of his teammate Hadler, who was in 12th. And so this time around, Wouters can do even better for Fireboy and maybe recommend himself for 1 or 2 more future races.
Absolutely, yeah. As long as he can keep it on the road, he'll certainly be giving himself the perfect advert right now. In the best grid in the world, as I keep saying. So, yeah, if he can get a top 6 there, that'd be very good for him. Danny, again, is just sort of chilling right now. Gil, though, is also right on Sven. And the fact is, Sven actually has simply nothing to use. Gil really could go for it if he wants to. And he's getting nice and close, and he will go for it this time.
He sends it to the inside and makes the apex perfectly, gets the position. Sven trying to get the switchback done, but no grip on the exit, and that is Gil up into P3.
Look at Danny, this is for the lead now. He's got a really nice run on Casper, goes for the inside line, and that's going to be a very risky one. He's going to have such an acute angle. I was expecting him to collide there, and they're still side by side through the first few corners. Expect a big dive on the inside there from Casper, and well, we've seen Danny finally try a move. It was the wrong move, I feel, though. That inside of turn 1, that's asking for an accident if you don't judge it right, and either way you'll have to go quite slowly, but he's shown his intent. He's there. Question is, really, as Wouters is side by side himself with Gamer. I said he was going for that P6, and nearly contact the smallest of gaps in turn 5, and he'll finish into turn 6. Good move there for him in P6, but now we'll see if Gil has any pace on him. Could he possibly catch it? I doubt it, honestly, but if he can have these two at the top collide, he'd be loving that. Either way, IGK really strong performance. Timing's fallen off the map as well. He's in P13 there. Jonathan side by side and going off the track there to get past Blizzard. That's a bit of a dodgy one. He has to let him through there. But now this race is starting to pick up some steam.
Yeah, here comes Danny. This time no switching down. He's going to try it right here. Casper defends.
Later on the brakes,
the outside,
actually.
the long way. He's gonna try to cut back, but Casper parks it on the apex. Well done, good defending there from the racing point, from the VSR driver. A little bit of a slide there, not too much, didn't lose too much grip. Danny tries it again. This time the inside is completely shut off. Has to go the long way around. And he gets it done, but he needs to get it stopped through the snake corner here. Casper taking the inside. This time, Danny has the inside for turn 3. And Casper respects him on the inside there, but Casper around the outside. Just that little bit more grip, and he keeps the position. It's not over yet. Oh, I think Danny was expecting Casper to defend the inside, and Casper didn't. I think Danny was He was thinking about going for the inside, then sending it, going full send. But he decided, you know what, Casper is so weirdly positioned on the track that he thought maybe on the outside was his chance, and Casper had no intention really to defend this to the very inside of the track. So Danny stays behind for now.
Yeah, Danny almost dummied himself, didn't he, into turn 6 there? I am surprised he didn't go for that, but he's still got plenty of chances. Although Casper's now got more ERS. I mean, nothing massive, they've still got more than enough to fight away, but it could be worth noting that if Danny does get by eventually, Casper could actually end up with quite the upper hand. This could be quite down to timing here. Here comes Danny again. Casper defends. Danny wanted to go at the inside, but there was no room, and again, Casper breaks very late into the hairpin. He's very good at keeping the defence into there, but this time, Danny's got the outside, which will then turn to the inside for the final corner, and surely this time we'll get ahead. And a big slide for Casper might stop him retaliating, but we'll see. Down towards turn 1, what type of run is he going to have? Danny will be loving this right now, all the ERS being drained from the racing point, and then he goes round the outside into turn 1 again, and Danny's the one on the inside trying to get this move completed, but it looks like Casper will eventually come back, and it'll be another lap where Danny's going to try and figure out what to do, unless this time he decides he will go full send into turn 6. He's got a good run, slipstreaming all the way. Casper doesn't really defend too much. There goes Danny on the inside, and he hasn't really broke late enough there. He's not going to get that move done. He'll have to back it off again.
Yeah, very, very well analysed there. Really, if he just breaks about 10 metres later, or maybe 5 even, he probably has a chance to get that overtake done. But really, the question now becomes, how frustrated is Danny going to be? He's thrown everything at him. He's tried it in turn 6. He's tried it into the hairpin multiple times. He's tried it into turn 1. And none of them stuck. None of them he was able to complete.
Oh,
really
big slide for
longer.
Casper. That might lose him the race win right now. That's going to surely have Danny going past him there. Although saying, and look at his ERS of Danny, and they're both going to be running out of ERS in a second. This really might end up not playing too well into either of these two's hands, but surely Danny's going to be in the lead now. Casper again pretty on the brakes, but he's not going to go for a move. Now what does Casper decide to do? Because he's been all over the road. He's been sliding like crazy. Even though he's on younger tyres, he's been pushing him a lot more. As Gil gets back past, or sorry, Sven gets back past Gil, that fight's still not over on track. Regardless, oh, maybe it will be. No, that's a big slide. What about the top 2? Are we going to go for it again? Casper on the outside of turn 1. Nearly contact once again. And again, Danny's on the inside, trying to figure out what do I need to do to keep this lead as Casper goes back up the inside. This is phenomenal racing, side by side on the exit of turn 3 towards turn 4 and then turn 5 and 60 and the first sector. And Danny's got the upper hand this time. What are we going to say to the breakings though? Will Casper throw one up the inside? No. Nice, surely. See if we're going to VRS. You've only got 3 laps to go. You've got to really plan this very well indeed. Gil did get back past Sven as well. And, well, they're going to be hoping these two are going to collide. And they'll be saying that. Gil will be saying, okay, they keep switching. Switch. Just wait on this one. See what these guys do. No penalties or anything as well. They've been fighting super cleanly. And we've still got a couple of laps to decide this. And look at the ERS now. As I say, it's Casper who's got the upper hand on it.
And that might be crucial. It's only 10% difference, 11% right now, but that might be the difference maker.
That's a good point. The chat said about Louis, he's right on the back of the fight for P3 as well. Not very long left, but he could be a factor too again if something happens at the front. What a win that would be from P12, wouldn't it? But here is Casper again on the back of Danny. Look at the run, like I say, he's got Danny defends to the inside. Casper's already looking at going for the switchback. You can see that already. There he goes. And this should set him up quite well for a run all the way down towards turn 1 if he can nail the last corner. Blitzes up ahead of Waters again. And you'd expect that on those new softs, or mediums should say, the softer tyres. Here comes Casper once again though. 2 laps to go in this race and we're going to see deja vu once again. It's Casper on the outside of turn 1 and it's Danny on the inside. What are you going to do this time? They've done pretty much everything they can do apart from crash. And again, look how tight they're racing. This is phenomenal stuff. And we'll see them racing away towards turn 6. Casper, they're fully side by side this time, unlike the last lap, nearly colliding once again. Casper on the outside, trying to do a Louis this one, and he could make it stick this time. Are we really going to go side by side to the S's, guys? This maybe isn't the best idea in the world, but they're going to go for it. Side by side.
Something's
this is incredible stuff. Oh! That was the
Casper!
that was committed, you have to say that much, but that could so easily have ended in a monstrous accident. But you can't really blame them. They've only got 1.5 laps left to go. And if that's how far they're willing to go on lap 27, how far are they going to go on lap 28?
Yeah, I mean, you can really only imagine. I mean, you only have to wait 1 lap and we'll probably see. Wow. I mean,
they're letting these guys catch up. They're really letting these guys catch up. It's still 2.5 seconds, mind you, but if they fight any harder, we could see one of these three behind snatch this victory. Louis going to go up to P4 now, past Sven, and Casper's, well, he's holding off right now. He's right there, but just not going for the move. And Louis, yeah, there he is, P4 on the road. Can he steal a podium away from Gil? That'll be a bit heartbreaking for IGK. Saying that, though, it could end up being a lot more if these guys have any more dramas. Look at the slide from Casper as we start the final lap of the race. That might just protect down into turn 1. But look at the run Casper's got regardless. He's flying along. And this one really is going to go right down to the last hairpin. As you say, maybe we won't get a photo finish, but we'll certainly get something on this last lap. It's just how aggressive are these guys going to be? You'd imagine it'll be pretty crazy. But let's see. Will Casper go for him into turn 6? I wouldn't really recommend it. And he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, I would say at this point Danny has the upper hand because we've seen Casper struggle in the final corner. And if it really comes down to the final corner, if Casper catches another bit of oversteer there, that could leave the chance open for Danny. Even if Danny is behind after the hairpin, Casper could still lose that on the line, as you predicted earlier. It could still go to the line. And if Casper catches a slight bit of a slide there, then Danny still has a chance. I mean, this is crazy right now.
Let's see how this is going to end up, because we've got the fight for third as well going on. We've got 2 things to look at here. Will Danny hold on to the victory? Will Gil hold on to the P3 that IGK so badly needed? Danny straight away defensive to the inside and weaving along the straight, trying to break the toe. But at this point, Casper is well within his slipstream, well up into the 210, 211, 212. He's got so much speed, but it's defensive onto the inside for Danny. And look at the run. Now Casper's going to get a fantastic exit, but a bit of a slide as well. And this is going to be the cutback of all cutbacks in the last corner. But Danny defends it very well indeed. There's a nearly spinning off. Danny's going to win here in China. Casper just about holds on, and Gil just about holds on for P3. Casper was so close to going in the wall there, but he'll be disappointed. Danny defended that perfectly into the final corner. There was no way that Casper was going to undercut that.
Yeah, Danny just very well held there in the final corner. And you could see from a mile away that Casper was trying to go for the cutback in the final corner, and Danny just was having none of it, and decided to take the final corner in a way that did not allow Casper to get the cutback whatsoever. And ultimately sealed victory for Danny. As I mentioned, you know, the oversteer, the power oversteer that Casper caught out of the hairpin, and then on the exit of the final corner, I think that's what decided ultimately, because Casper was alongside on the exit of the hairpin. But that little bit of a slide going on there is what ultimately sealed it for Danny, winning this race over Casper only. Which, I mean, still a heck of a result, but only getting second place. And this should see S2V through, maybe past?
I don't think
no,
passed.
They're not going to be passed. Yeah, because only 2 positions for Liam Parnell ahead of Lee Findlay. I think it was P9 and P11, if I saw correctly. And the one position...
We got 20 finishes as well. Sorry, that's a bit unrelated, but we got 20 finishes again. I know we had it a bit provisionally last time. There was a deep seated in it, but this is like, we can call this the first official 20-car finish as well. So well done for that, people.
Yeah, and what a race there from Danny, I have to say.
And can I say as well,
my goodness,
what a comeback for CRG. They got 5th and 8th in the end there, and thanks to Sven's penalty, Blizzard actually ended up beating Sven. So I think they should be okay in third. The thing is, they got IGK, a phenomenal podium. They got Louis in 4th for BDG, and you've got the front 2 being S2V and VSR. You could argue that now CRG are in a fight for third rather than a fight for first.
Yeah, they will remain in third, but they are more in a fight over third than they are in a fight for the top 2. And I think that's been sealed here tonight. But yeah, it is also the second win for Danny. The first one, remember, was 3 weeks ago in Austria.
Look at this, it's the
And
top
guess
two.
who won?
Top
Guess
two.
who won the other 2 races?
Yeah, top 2. I've had 2 wins each now. That's good to see. You love to see that.
And amazingly, the only one who ever broke this, it was always Casper and Danny in the top 2 every single race. The only one who broke this, well, that was another VSR driver in Vasta race, where in Austria, remember, Casper collided and dropped down to P13. And so that was the only time one of them did not show up in the top 2. So they are really in a league of their own. But I have to say, if we were to do driver of the day, I gotta say I would have to give it to Gil.
I'd give it to Louis, because he executed from a difficult position as well. And I know he's been struggling a bit this season, but he's gone from 12th to 4th. I mean, that's really impressive. He did that all on track as well. Didn't have to rely on penalties. He's only got the podium as well. Really, I'd give him that. But yeah, I also agree. Actually, that there were so many good drivers. You've got Walters up as well. You've got Blizzard. So many good drivers, and then in the top 2 as well. They give us a phenomenal show. So many good drivers. This is why we're calling this the best league, the best 20 drivers in the world on this particular day. What a race. What a brilliant race.
Yeah, and where that came from, we're going to have 2 more of these in the next 2 weeks. So if you want to catch those, make sure to subscribe to the PSGL YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell. Make sure to also hit the like button if you enjoyed this stream. And yeah, we're going to be back for 2 more rounds, and then this is all going to wrap. Short season, but my goodness, the racing we get totally makes up for the short and sweetness of this season.
Yes, and next week we are in the United States of America. We're at Kota, and then in 2 weeks' time we are in Brazil. Incidentally, the day before the Brazil race is the Race of Champions, I believe, which I think it's either 28th or 27th. Either way, I'm in that, so I'll be promoting the hell out of that. So that's also something to look forward to. That's 100% race around Germany. But still, all sorts of really fun things happening at the end of this month. We're keeping this league very much alive until 2020 comes out. And I don't know if anyone saw on the PSGL Twitter, for some reason their bio says 1.7.20, so maybe keep an eye on them for that as well. But anyway, so much to look forward to for the next few weeks. I can't wait to see how this finishes between VSR and S2V. It certainly feels that they are the front runners now to win the PSGL Esports Cup 2020. Looks like CRG aren't really going to be holding their crown. Let's see who wins next week. I can't wait. I'll be there. Austin will be there. Hopefully we'll have no more issue for the rest of the season. Thank you all for watching again, and safe travels everyone.